let's go. It is what it is. Corki, we're not gonna read. We're gonna only read interesting stuff, right? And there will be probably quite some interesting information. Alright, so when it comes to summer spells, the big loser here is Ghost, obviously. Ghost got nerfed. In my opinion, this is too big of a nerf. Nerfing the duration or the cooldown would be enough, absolutely. Going from 15 to 13 seconds and from 120 to 140 second cooldown, this is really bad. This is really bad. I don't know what to say. It's only 1 minute. Excuse me. It's only 1 minute shorter cooldown than Flash at this point. The duration is really short. Another interaction that many people will not like is that when you pop ult and ghosts right now at the same time in a fight, the fight starts, you want your freaking boostage, right? Turbojet boosters with freaking Super Saiyan at the same time. They both last 15 seconds. Now you're gonna lose ghosts faster. This could sometimes lead to some problems in a team fight. Overall, it's really bad, dude. Really bad. Like, Ghost is, in my opinion, more important than Flash currently. This nerf puts Ghost in a really bad spot, in my opinion. It's another nerf for Ghost. Once they nerfed it, when they removed that mechanic where you get more duration the more kills or assists you get. Now they just nerfed straight up duration again and the cooldown. I don't know if Ghost is that OP. I would look at Ignite, because to me, like, Ignite is still more used than Ghost. From what I've seen in my games, like, you're gonna see Ghost once in in a game or something on an enemy team. Like, Ignite, you see 3 Ignites in a single game. Like, what's the problem with Ghost here? I'm not sure, man. I can see, we're gonna come to the conclusion later, but I'm going to say it right now. Many of these changes that we're gonna read, unfortunately, it looks like Freak is taking over. Freak is probably back from maining support to maining AD carry. And he's just doing everything in his might to put Bruisers as shitty a spot as possible, in order to Bruisers to never get to AD carries, for AD carries to be very safe and AD carries will be doing insane amounts of damage at the same time next split. So yeah, unless you're playing like a mage or like one-shot mage or assassin, yeah, good luck here. Bruiser will be freaking the worst class into AD carries, most likely in patch. But there will be more changes to come, so that will perhaps, this is a preface, but that will perhaps explain later. The later changes will explain why I think this way. Barrier buff, it's probably good for Vel'Koz players right now, Tentacle players. Very happy. Vel'Koz, from what I understand, is like pretty much the only champion in the game that uses Barrier. It's probably deserved buff because nobody uses this summer spell. Cleanse buff, well, not really, to be honest. This matters, but not that much. The cooldown increase, on the other hand, does matter a lot. And it's probably a nerf, small nerf. But Ghost by far got nerfed the hardest. The Ghost got freaking gutted. I'm sorry, but Ghost is freaking dead. It's not dead, it's just, you know, this is it got over nerfed. It's too weak. Exhaust, same thing as Cleanse, buff here and the cooldown increase. Heals the same, and Ignite is the same. Alright, items. Here we go. Corrupting Potion. Oh no! Like, what am I gonna do now without my Corrupting Potion? Potion of Cocksock. No, I'm just kidding. But this potion, I don't think I bought Corrupting Potion a single time in my life. Alright, that's exaggeration, like maybe 2 times, but yeah. They want to decrease the mana sustain, I guess. We still have biscuits in the game, but I don't think that removing corrupting potion, I don't think that many champions, many people will complain about that. Like almost nobody uses this anywhere. Boots of Swiftness, 15 speed less. Slow resistance gone. And attacks now grant 30 and 20 speed for 2 seconds. This is a massive nerf. You guys remember back in the day, some of you perhaps do, some of you don't. We had, I don't remember what season that was, what seasons, but there was a time for a good amount of time where nobody, like literally nobody was buying Swifties. Nobody in the game. Like except for, I don't know, Udyr sometimes. It's going to be the same right now. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same. Swifties are dead as shit. They're completely and utterly dead. Nobody will be buying this item. Nobody. At least I don't see what's the point. Like if you don't have this and the movement speed is the same as other boots, like why, like this is such a massive nerf for Swifties. And you know what? I'm going to say deserved because Swifties are too strong. Probably got over nerfed. Because you know at this passive here is not as good as just having movement speed all the time. So massive nerf. Mercs, tenacity reduced. Okay, so apparently someone in Riot is high on drugs, and they said that tenacity is the problem in the game? Question mark? You know what? Like tenacity is something that usually bruisers, juggernauts, immobile champions buy in order to not being, you know, stuck in one place for 10 seconds in a team fight and then just die because they just can't still move after 10 seconds of eating damage. I wonder why we would change that. I'm really curious. Who benefits this change the most? Maybe a class that doesn't want anyone to get to them easily? Like AD carries? I don't know. Let's keep on reading. The gold reduction and the magic resistance boost, obviously very nice. But removing more and more tenacity options from the game, definitely a very stupid idea. It's like how are immobile champions supposed to counteract like insane amount of CC and mobility that we have in the game? If it was only for CC, that's already bad enough. But you're gonna get CC'd and they're gonna fly away through the map at the same time. How are you supposed to get to anyone? With Ghost being nerfed too. How are you supposed to get to anyone? I don't know. Don't ask me. Moby's removed. Interesting. It is what it is, right? Steel caps also cost reduced. Armor up. Block percent down. Honestly, there's probably a small buff overall. I was never like a huge fan. Huge nerf on steel caps, I think. I think it's a small buff. This I always thought that this passive is overrated because in a realistic situation, in a team fight, you're gonna get 25% of true damage, then 30% of magic damage, then the remaining part, if you're unlucky, is going to be physical damage, and from that remaining part, like 25 or 30% of that is going to be auto attacks. In reality, like against AD champions, this does not block 12% of the damage, not even close. This is the fraction of what, realistically speaking, you're gonna get. Some AD carries auto attack more than some others, sure. Some use abilities, blah blah blah. Realistic case, this is, and of course, this is not getting removed, right? It's only nerfed by 4%, and the armor goes up and the cost goes down. The most important thing is probably being cost going down. 5 armor early on with cost going down is also pretty good. So, I wouldn't even say it's not even close to being a huge nerf. In fact, I think it's a buff. But or like neutral change, like the worst case scenario, neutral change. What? Symbiotic souls. New boots. Passive, your recall is empowered. Ooh, 4-second recalls. After traveling 150,000 units of distance, upgrades to synchronized souls. For reference, Summer's Rift is so it would take like, I don't know, 6 to 8 minutes of constant walking to upgrade these boots. That doesn't sound like that much, honestly. And movement speed. Okay, so I see. So then they changed basically to mobility boots, and they removed mobility boots. This is honestly, I can't say this is actually a good change from Riot. They recognized that the meta of supports rushing mobies and then just running around the map because the role is so broken, the way it works right now is just too strong. And they made it so that if you want to have mobies on support, you will get them, but outside of laning phase at this point. You will not get them early, and you will not be able to roam like a freaking demon. And I like that. This is a good change. This is definitely a good change. In my opinion. Someone had like a good idea, and I'm happy that, you know, Riot is not only bad ideas. All right. Ooh, shit. New boots item. Zephyr. Improved tier 3 boots. Improves from Berserker Griefs. So you're telling me that 80 okay, whatever. Let's read. 20% slow resistance. Requires level 15 to purchase, so you can't purchase until like endgame essentially for 80 carry. Movement speed 65 flat. This is even more than Swifties. Wow. Well. I'll be honest. This looks like a big change. But it isn't, realistically speaking. In some cases, in some rare cases, nobody will upgrade this to get these stats at 3 items, for example. You're rushing your Lord Dominics or something at 3 items. You won't be spending 2,000 gold to get like some movement speed and slow resistance. This is insane. That being said, I guess AD carries now have like a 6th item, like into like very late, like, you know, they're gonna freaking, with these boots and with 5 other items, they're gonna be fast, and that's going to be pretty crazy. But this is not realistically a big change, because the games like that, like, bro, like on average my games last 24 minutes or something. Like a lot of my games are 15 minutes. This is just, you know, like, the games do not get to 6 items. Some people don't realize that. Oh, Karn, what is the full build for Nasus? I want all 6 items. People don't realize that the most important items are like first back or first full item or second item. These are the most important items in the game usually. And these you need to pick the right items to give you the biggest power spikes. Otherwise, like, the games will not get to 6 items. Like, almost never. I don't know how it is in Bronze, Silver. Let me know if it's different, but... Dagger, 2%, whatever. Bami Cinder, damage to non-champions, more wave clear. Ability haste, minus health. That's fine. Fated Ashes, what is this? New item. For 900 gold, 40 AP, and... it burns for 7 magic damage per 3 seconds. It's like, you know, that sounds pretty good. Honestly, it's almost the cost of Blasting Wand, and it does give you the same amount of AP and the damage over time. It's not a lot, but That is pretty decent. Hardbound axe. Less attack speed, more AD, but it's way more expensive. Oh, this item got freaking gutted. What? The hook? 150 gold for plus 5 AD, minus 5 attack speed? Well, this item is freaking... It's one of the worst freaking component items in the game. right now. Noon Quiver. Okay, it has 20 crit chance and 25 AD for 1400 gold. That, on the other hand, sounds pretty decent. I mean, it's okay. Scout Slingshot. Scout Slingshot. That's freaking... Sounds like a Teemo's item. Attack speed and passive magic rock. Damaging a champion deals 40 magic damage. 40-second cooldown, reduced by 1% on 1 second on attack. It's cheap. Honestly, this number seems a little much. Like, little much, guys. 900 gold, and you get 20% attack speed, and this 40 magic damage this early, like first back, is potentially a lot. If you play your lane right, this is potentially a lot, honestly. I know the cooldown is long, but assuming that you play a lane bully, you get this damage every wave. Every wave you get this additional 40 damage on like a short trade or whatever, or like trying to poke someone down. This is a lot. This seems like a very strong item. Still sigil, recipe, reorder, like whatever. Verdant barrier buffed again. Zeal increased crit chance. All right, now we're getting into interesting stuff. By interesting stuff, I mean the build that will not exist for us anymore. Unless there is someone that has bigger brain than I do. Sorry, I'll have to be drinking a lot of water because my throat hurts. And no, I did not do anything weird tonight. Bloodthirster no longer grants extra AD, but now it's overheal, basically. Doesn't provide crit, but it provides 80 AD. It's expensive. It could be used on some people, I guess. 99% sure it's not an item for Nasus. 99% sure. I don't see Nasus using that ever. Like if Nasus, like hypothetically speaking, if we're still going crit Nasus, this obviously removes the option to build this item. So if we're going tank or bruiser or anything else, why would you want like just this instead of Sundered Sky, for example, or Spear of Shojin, or anything really? For 3,400 gold, just forget about it. Collector, 25 crit. So, in case you didn't know, every crit item in the game is going to provide 25% crit strike chance. It's kind of mean because I've been saying like in the past that the moment I said that many times, that the moment they're going to buff crit items to 25%, and I'm sure they will eventually, crit Nasus is actually going to be meta. Oh, I was right and wrong at the same time. Anyway, Collector, pretty much the same item. Actually, I take it back. Collector is much better. So UPIA 80 carries, I guess. Congratulations. Collector is much better. 5 crit, 5 AD. This is one, it's irrelevant. And all of that, all these stats for 100 gold, that's freaking amazing. That is a huge buff. Essence Reaver. Oh no. Alright, so Essence Reaver, guys, does not have the Sheen proc anymore. After so many years, it's gone. What did we get instead of the Sheen? Crit chance, 5%, 5 ability haste, and 5 AD. Now you might think, oh, like 5, 5, 5? Oh, that's, you know, Sheen proc sucks, but that's a lot of stats. And guess what? The cost went up by 300 as well. And Nasus, like, there are some champions that they would still work without Sheen, like Camille, for example, or Jax. They would still work in this game. I don't think that Nasus is one of these champions. I think that, unironically, Nasus is the most Sheen reliant champion in the game. There's probably nothing that needs Sheen more than Nasus. Sheen is everything. Sheen is defense. Sheen is lifesteal. Sheen is damage. Sheen is everything for our champion. To me, this is Ezreal. Like, Ezreal would still function without Sheen, I'm pretty sure, somehow. It wouldn't be like devastating nerf for Ezreal. GP? Alright, GP needs Sheen, sure, but yeah. I'm pretty sure that this item is dead. Now, Immortal Shield Bow. Lifesteal got removed completely. So our two core items, kinda, for, you know, the crit builds I have been building. So Essence Reaver, Navori's Immortal Shield Bow. This got destroyed, no Sheen anymore. And this got, I want to say destroyed, but it's a big nerf. 5% crit and 5 AD. 5 AD for crit Nasus is nothing, basically. So, lifesteal, 12% lifesteal versus 5 crit. You can imagine which one is more valuable, right? You can imagine. Now, one of the cringiest changes in the patch, Infinity Edge, the cost got increased by 100 gold. The crit chance went up and AD went up by 15. So we're talking 700, 800 gold increase of value versus 100 gold increase of the actual cost. I don't know what Riot is smoking. I really don't. Like, just increase it to 70. Why 80, man? Why did this item require to get buffed so freaking hard? This is insane amount. It's not just like a little bit. This is insane amount. Like, this is like, if they, like, you're familiar with what stats Iceborne has right now, like 300 health, 50 armor, like 15 ability haste, right? And the Sheen proc. So this is if Iceborne literally just got buffed to 80 armor, something like this. Bro, with Iceborne having 80 armor, I'm building it every freaking game. Every single one. We're talking about this amount of buffs here. This is insane, man. Insane buff. Stupid amount of buffs. By the way, Riot, buff Iceborne, the item sucks ass. Kraken Slayer. The costs increase. Crit gone. Not a crit item anymore. Grants movement speed. The AD went up. The attack speed went up. And passive damage amp got destroyed. Ooh. I mean, not destroyed necessarily. It's just going to work differently. Before, you needed to attack target for a long time. Now, the damage bonus is consistent, but what matters if the opponent is low health or not, right? The crit got removed. I mean, it's going to be like probably like a item for like Mastery or something, like on hit. Rageblade, Kraken Slayer, Bork. Anyone? Oh no. Oh shit, I didn't mean to. Oh no, man. No, dude. So, like, you're gonna fight into like full AD team. They're supposed to get punished incredibly hard by going full AD. Right? Incredibly hard. They just messed up the draft, and they equal skill level they're supposed to lose really hard. So you're building six armor items. You're like, oh, let's go! I finally reached 400 armor, man. Let's go, man! I should be unkillable now. And team fight starts, and then you eat Olaf's axe, and your armor goes from 400 to 300. And then someone, doesn't matter who, applies black cleaver stacks, so 30% armor down. So you have like, I don't want to do calculations. It's just for reference, right? But your armor goes like 220, for example. And then AD carry shooting you from the back with Lord Dominic's 40% of that going away. So you're going from 400 to like 100 armor or something close to it, while building full tank. You can't build anything more for armor in this game, and you have 100 armor, just like if you had no items at all. All of it is gone, penetrated. All of this. And at the same time, 45 AD and 25% critical strike chance. Like, I'll be honest, guys, looking at this item, I really want to make like crit Nasus work. This item is on paper looking so freaking disgusting right now that I really want to make it work. But it's not going to work, and you're gonna see soon why. Mercurial Scimitar. Crit gone, but now grant lifesteal. This might not be a bad item for Nasus sometimes. It's very expensive though. Very expensive. But like, you know, magic resistance, lifesteal, QSS with movement speed buff at the same time. This could not be like the worst item for Nasus sometimes, occasionally. Mortal Reminder got buffed just by 5%. Why did they buff Mortal Reminder by 5%? And Lord Dominic's got like freaking 1,000 gold of freaking value in stats. Maybe not 1,000, but like freaking 800. Like this item got so overbuffed, and this item got freaking overbuffed, like from here to Las Vegas. Both of them got insane this patch. Next patch. Navori's. There we go, boys. So, maybe you recognize how I've been saying that the reason why crit Nasus somewhat works, right? The reason why your damage seems to be so freaking high is simple. The passive, this one, multiplies the amount of stacks you have. This is pretty much the only thing that can multiply the amount of stacks you have in the game. Multiply the damage with your stacks, because stacks by themselves cannot crit. Shin proc can, your AD will, but your stacks can't. So like, for example, late game, if you had 800 stacks and 100% crit rate, you would have essentially 960 stacks instead of 800, thanks to this passive. That is a lot of damage per Q. That is a lot of damage. And on top of that, item was providing ability haste. Amazing, right? Very good item. It was expensive, but was making your damage like really freaking like you had oomph to your freaking swing, if you know what I mean. Now the item provides 25% critical strike chance. The passive that made it good for us is gone. The ability haste gone. AD gone. I wouldn't cry about AD, but what do we get in response? CR refund slightly higher. Honestly, mostly relevant for us. Grants movement speed and 40% attack speed. And that's it. That's it. Crit, CR refund, some movement speed, some attack speed. Yeah, moving on. I mean, there's nothing to say. This item is it's a completely different item. And for crit Nasus, it's completely dead. It's gone. I'd probably rather buy Phantom Dancer, which we're gonna read in a second. So Phantom Dancer, 12% movement speed, 25% crit, AD removed, which for, again, crit Nasus doesn't really matter. Attack speed, 60%, and it grants ghosting. That is, I'll be honest, excuse me, that is a lot of stats for 2600 gold. That is a lot of stats. And ghosting, which is one of the best passives in the game, because you blame Riot for making unit collision this freaking disgusting, but you know, ghosting is amazing. 12 movement speed permanently is a shitload. 25 crit, 60% attack speed is currently worth 1800 gold. 1800 gold. So this attack speed and crit is already basically worth this amount of gold. So you get movement speed and you get ghosting. The item is very cheap. You have to keep that in mind too. So it feels good to finish it. Yeah, I mean, Phantom Dancer is looking very strong into some attack speed reliant champions for sure. Vayne will probably build this a lot. But not only her. Alright. Rapid fire cannon. Crit chance up. Attack speed up. AD removed. The cost going down. Overall, probably above. 400 gold is a lot. That's a lot of. I mean, it's hard to say. 30 AD, but then again, like AD carries will be building some items that give them huge multipliers, like Infinity Edge, and at this point they don't really care because they're already doing a lot of damage. They already have a lot of AD with Lord Dominic's and with Infinity Edge. So we'll see. It's hard to say. I'm not an AD carry expert, right? Rune's Hurricanes. I'm not even reading that, dude. Static Shift, same story. It's just like, you know, has an extra. The passive is going to be stronger, but it like lost stats, lost crit, whatever. Stormbrazer removed. Okay. There's a new item too. Yuntal Wild Arrows. Crit chance, AD. Big Sting. Crits deal 35% of total AD additional physical damage over 2 seconds. Well, that's not gonna work with crit Nasus. I'm sorry, but it's not going to. This scales with attack speed, which will have 0. And again, the stacks cannot crit. Yeah. For Nasus, this is awful. It's probably pretty damn strong for some AD carries. But it's kind of like Dev Dance in the reverse, you know. But item looks pretty strong. It's expensive, but the item looks pretty strong. It's just not good for Nasus. And that pretty much sums the crit items up. My conclusion, if you guys were curious, is the crit Nasus is completely and utterly dead. Now, let me know if you think otherwise. I would love to listen to recommendations, unironically. Because where is it? This item is so freaking broken that I really, really, really want to make crit Nasus work. This item alone is so disgusting that I would like to make the crit Nasus work. I really would. But I just don't see how. There is nothing that supports Nasus anymore. Nothing. Try on PvE first. But like, there's nothing to try. I see what these items do. I played this game for 14 years, and I don't want to brag, but I am a pretty good theory crafter myself. So I just don't see how any of this could work together. The reason why crit Nasus was so good, both reasons are gone. The Essence Reaver lost Sheen, and Navori's is completely dead. There are two main reasons why crit Nasus worked. Both gone. So just because this item got overbuffed, I don't think that makes it possible. Let's make a list of the good items for Nasus. Okay, good crit items. Okay, there it is. Here. Done. All right, let's be honest. Let's just scroll through them one more time. So, Essence Reaver is still okay. Again, no Sheen, but it's okay. I'm going to highlight the items that are okay to build for Nasus. So, it still gives infinite mana, so it's okay, right? It's expensive though. Something we have to keep in mind. So this item's dead. This item's I don't think so. Immortal Shield will get much worse. I think it's pretty bad now without the lifesteal. But let's just say that this is okay-ish. Nah, just Essence Reaver so far. Kraken Slayer doesn't have crit. Lord Dominic's is insane. Lost crit. Oh, this is this basically. Navori's dead. Phantom Dancer. Like you no, man. It's just a no. You don't have like, you guys don't understand. Perhaps you do. How bad is it to lose Sheen? How freaking bad it is to lose Sheen. You guys don't get it. Like, you just can't build this, man. You can't. You need to have Sheen. Look at this. Like, if you want to have infinite mana early, look at this build path. Like, what are you gonna build? Saving 1300 for BF Sword on Nasus? Triforce into crit, I don't know. But like, that's pointless. Just build Bruiser at this point. We have pretty decent Bruiser items. We have, what? We have Spear of Shojin. We have like Sundered Sky. Sundered Sky got freaking destroyed this batch, but it's dead. It's freaking dead. Sorry. Fighter items. So Black Cleaver. There we go. First item, I can already see that it's, you know, Black Cleaver. If you wanted to be building Bruiser Nasus, like Juggernaut Nasus, or whatever, this is already better. Blade of the Ruin King. This I have to say that's one of the few changes that from Riot that I approve. I really do. They finally changed the Blade of Ruin King from the like they transferred some of that stupid freaking passives damage into raw stats. They should have done that a long time ago. I think it's still too much probably, but I think that the item overall looks better, most likely. So that's something. Now, one interesting item for us that I was thinking about just for a second: Overlord's Bloodmail. Now, this item gives you 500 health. It's very expensive. It's more. It's I believe as it costs as much as Stoneplate when it was in the game, or even 100 gold more. I don't remember. But 500 health, 40 AD. You gain 2% of your bonus HP as AD. So basically, Atma's back, boys. The thing is, and also you gain up to 10% increased AD based on your missing health. This is pretty strong with combination of Last Stand. Because when you're going to be low on health with this item, you'll really be doing a lot of damage. Extra damage. But the thing is, bonus HP, technically you could build like health on every item. I could see it. It's possible. You could get like 2500 bonus health. Your ult counts as bonus health also. You could get like 3000 bonus health late game. It wouldn't be too difficult. Like Triforce, Bloodmail, you get like Rukern, that's HP, or Spirit Visage. You get Randuin's, that's bonus HP, and you get last item, whatever, right? Sterex or something. That is with your ult and with Overgrowth and with double HP rune shards. That is probably more than 3,000 health. So you get 100 AD from this item. Now it does scale a little bit with Triforce because Triforce gives attack speed. This could potentially create a situation where you have like 350 or 400 AD Nasus late game, or even more when on low health. But I don't know, man. You know how many times I said in the past that AD is like the worst stat on Nasus in the game? Everything is better. Like armor is better, ability haste is better, magic resistance is better, HP is better, attack speed is better. Attack speed decreases your Q cooldown because the faster you swing your staff, the faster the Q cooldown starts. So even attack speed is better than AD. You know, I don't know. Thunder Sky got nerfed really hard this patch. I don't know if it's a good choice potentially. Rather than this Hydra, Terminus, some insignificant changes. Tank legendary items. Ooh. Ooh. So we have 2400 to 2200 cost. Very cheap. The radius is very long. Very high. And the magic resistance shred just shreds 20%. This item, I mean, it's obviously better into tanks, right? But it's so cheap now. The radius buff is good too. So freaking cheap. Interesting. Hollow Radiance, never built this item, but this seems like a nerf, honestly. Most likely. Knight's Wow. You remember what I was saying about AD carries being stronger? Oh look, damage reduction goes from 10 to 12%. Woohoo! Oh no. Randuin's Omen, rock solid passive, you son of a bitch. Why would you have to remove rock solid, Riot? Like, alright, sure. Frozen Heart has it, sure, but what else? Active slow increased and the cooldown increased at the same time. This is a powerful slow, to be honest. But I always felt like this slow is more powerful on hard engagers like Malphite or Rammus. It's not that strong on Nasus because Nasus doesn't have an engage potential. So if Rammus goes in with his ult and then presses Randuin's, this potentially has a pretty big impact. Same with Malphite, same with some other champions. Nasus just doesn't have option to do something like that. You know, it's still, I think that overall this is stronger. Including the cooldown nerf, this is probably stronger than before. But and then we lost 50 health and 20 armor additional, 20 additional armor. Probably a small nerf overall on Randuin's, given the fact that armor penetration got buffed. Rock Solid would be probably stronger with that additional 50 health than 20 armor. So probably a small nerf. And probably a small buff until enemies don't get armor penetration. Something like that. At least the item is not dead. The most important thing about this item is it provides 30% crit damage reduction, which is huge. And it's still in the game, so that's fine. Sunfire Aegis. Health 500 to 350. That's a nerf, I think. Unending Despair. Cooldown reduced from 7 to 5. Well, that's potentially interesting. Never really was interested in this item, but maybe there's some hope for it now. Varmox. Finally. I'm not surprised one bit, boys. This item is such an iconic item. Few people know that Varmox is in this game since Season 1. I do believe that it never left the game, but it's in the shadow of its former self. Varmox used to provide, I believe, in Season 1, something like 13 or 1400 health. Nobody uses this item currently. With 1000 flood health, perhaps someone will. There are a lot of counters to health stacking in this game, so this is one of the reasons why nobody's doing that almost. But you know, the item looks way better now than before, sure. So that sounds good. Winter's Approach, also known as Winter Soldier. The cost is the same. 150 health. That is a lot. Ooh! Okay. So like Nasus late game has like 900 or 1000 mana base. Winter Soldier by default gives you how much? Like 800? Something like that? Or 1000? You need to tell me. Around 1k. So like by default, this is stronger if you're stacking mana. 860, yeah, something like that. This is stronger if you're stacking mana. If you have more than just one mana item. If you're not stacking mana, then it's going to be slightly worse. But in the end, it's a buff. No matter what, it's a buff. No matter how you look at it, this is surely a buff. So combine that with Frozen Heart. Yeah, Frozen Heart is a dog shit item. Like you get 400 extra mana with Frozen Heart, so you get 60 health. I'm sorry, but I'm not impressed. You get 60 health extra. I mean, nice. It got buffed slightly though. It's cheap, but is that enough to make it good? We'll see. Zeke's Convergence. The cost is the same. Ability haste went down. Health went up. Armor went down. 25. No, Zeke's is worse than before, I think. So the cost is 10 ability haste, mana gone, and 5 armor. For that you get 100 health, 25 MR, and that's it. I think it's worse than before. And is this going to be good? Probably no. Honestly, I don't know. Like, you know, the builds and the items look so bad that even something like this could maybe even fit into our builds, man. The Mage legendary items, let's just scroll through them really fast because it's gonna get too long. So like new item Blackfire Torch, it just gives some stats, and then for each champion an additional bonus AP affected by the passive. That seems pretty strong. Liandry is the same, pretty much. This thing, whatever. Luden's Companion, cooldown 3 seconds per charge, 12 seconds to get all 6 charges immediately. Huh? Base damage and repeat hit damage. That looks like a freaking massive buff. Riot have not learned anything from Luden's being OP in the beginning of the season. Oh, I guess it's Riot we're talking about. And we have runes. What do we have afterwards? That's it. Just runes, guys. All right. Press the attack. The damage is lower slightly, but the damage amplification lasts until you leave the combat, and it's different. Now it increases your damage, not everyone's damage on the target. And I think this is a fantastic change. I think that press the attack previously was freaking stupid. Like, why would you want to like in precision tree want to like put something that would increase damage for all your teammates? Like, it's like Black Cleaver not enough for top laners. Like, we needed to have this too. I think this is a good change, and I'll be honest, I'm not sure if this skill got stronger. I think it got weaker overall. Because this part here was freaking broken. But it's okay now, I think. It's fine. Yeah, it increases your damage against all the enemies. Yeah. It's good. It's not bad, right? Lethal Tempo. Yeah, boy. Nice. It's been a good run, Mr. Lethal Tempo. Salute. I mean, I don't know, guys. This rune was close to my heart. This rune was the reason why Nasus was kinda less dogshit in the very early part of the game. You could, if you were just better than your opponents, you could just literally kill someone as Nasus level 3, level 4. If they disrespect, if they mess up their spacing, if you're just a better player, you could use that with tempo to kill your opponents. And it happened many times. Now it's gone, because now you just get you hit your head on a brick wall. You just can't do it. It doesn't matter. You just get outstat. Like there's nothing you can do, right? You don't get extra damage boost or anything like this. It's gone. So without this rune in the game, I hate to say it, but the Nasus' gameplay will become more boring, for sure. Now, Fleet got nerfed as well, but it got some more movement speed. The nerf, I think, is mostly, the healing is mostly, I think overall it's probably a small buff. Overheal got removed, so we have the reason, and yet another reason why Crit Nasus is dead. I really enjoyed playing with this rune because having additional like 11% of your max HP as a shield on top of other items like shield bow that gives you a shield and lifesteal, this actually made Crit Nasus relatively tanky. It wasn't like glass cannon for sure. With this being gone, it's gone, you know. The new rune Absorb Life gives you additional sustain, like a mini Cho'Gath passive. I'll be honest, I don't think this rune is going to see much use for Nasus because the healing part is just too little. It will probably give you like around 1 extra healing per level. A little bit less than that, but like at level 5 you're gonna heal for 6 health per minion. Or something like this. I mean, sure, 30 health per wave, something like that. Like 30, if you can last hit everything. I don't know, guys. Thoughts? Opinions? Legend Tenacity removed. You guys remember what I said before about 80 carries? And, you know, like 80 carries typically don't stack Tenacity at all. They just get cleansed. Because if they get CC, they're dead. So they need to remove it instantly. You know who's stacking Tenacity in this game? Who wants as much Tenacity as possible to be able to move? Juggernauts. Immobile freaking dogshit champions. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna nerf them. Because they're too strong. Instead, we get Legend Haste. Now, this is not something I'm going to ridicule Riot for, because this is a pretty good rune. 15 ability haste, you can get pretty easily. That doesn't sound bad at all. But, yeah. Like, with Mercs being nerfed to 20%, with Legend Tenacity being removed straight up, with Unflinching this season being removed, essentially. Nobody uses... By the way, I like how Freak... I still remember his explanation with the Unflinching. He said that, oh, if he's going to be too weak... I came up with this rune on the fly, by the way, because we didn't want to, like, have a freaking Tenacity and the slow resistance on one rune. That seems too strong. But, if it's going to be too weak, we're gonna just follow up with the buffs. Yeah, Freak. Turns out, like, I haven't seen like a single person use Unflinching in my freaking life since you put this freaking dogshit rune in the game. It's probably the worst rune in the game. Where's the buff? Huh? Anyway. Hehe. Cut down. Okay, so we're going to reduce the damage versus, like... No, it's just going to be completely different now. I mean, that's fine. I mean, fine. It's different. Whatever. Anyway, tempo removed, tenacity removed. Nasus buffs, boys. We buffed Nasus like 2 weeks ago, and now he's going to be in need of another buffs because he's going to be freaking sitting at 27% win rate. Anyway, domination, predator removed. Good, nobody used that because it got over nerfed. Hell of Blades, nerfed for ranged. Fair enough. Cooldown on sudden impact, no longer grants hybrid pen, instead deals true damage. Whatever. Ingenious Hunter, gone. Ooh. So you can't reduce... I mean, I can't say I've been using that a lot, but there's some theory crafters, big-time theory crafters, that were using this rune to have like a build with like Winter Soldier and other cooldown-related items to make them stronger. Well, guess what? It's gone. Relentless Hunter, starting out of combat speed, suddenly got nerfed a little bit as well. Now we have Font of Life. Impairing movement no longer applies on hit, and on hit heal over time for allies. Impairing movement now heals you and the lowest health nearby ally for, okay. 10 to 50 health for ranged users. Presumably the user, yeah. But what's the cooldown? Honestly, guys? Yeah, but what's the cooldown? That's the most important thing. This is actually the first thing that makes me feel excited from all these changes that I've read so far. If it doesn't have cooldown, you know how broken that's gonna be with Iceborne? I mean broken. Every Q you will be healing for 50 and your nearby ally for 50 as well. It has to have cooldown though, come on. And Wither, sure, but... But it has to have cooldown. And if it's cool, and if the cooldown is like above 10 seconds, it's dog shit. So, if the cooldown is above 10 seconds, it doesn't matter. If it's like 5 seconds, then this actually could be potentially interesting. It's not heal for you only. Keep in mind, it's your lowest health nearby ally. It is a team game after all, so this could change the outcome of the fight sometimes. Inspiration, damage amp buffed, base goal. Ooh, okay, but this additional damage, like the extra melee gold from bonus damage, destroyed. I'll be honest, first strike is going to be probably stronger than it was, most likely stronger. In laning phase, you will be getting, I'm pretty sure, way more gold than before. With this. Pretty sure that first strike is back in the menu for like freaking 7 million mages and million guys. Pretty sure about that. Futures market removed. Cashback. In row 1, get 6% gold back when you purchase legendary item. Ooh. So you buy an item for 3,000 gold and you get back 180 gold. So like for the entire build, let's just say that's worth 15,000 gold. You get 900 gold back. I mean, but at this point, I don't know what else is in a row 1. I mean, that doesn't sound like complete garbage, I'll be honest. So, you know, it's not awful, right? Triple tonic to row 2, time warp tonic, no longer works on biscuit. Ooh, works on mana. Ooh, no longer grants 2% The potion is active. Immune potion, health restore, increased though. I mean, that's dead. I think that's kind of dead. Kind of seems like the movement speed and the, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Some people, there is a rune that could potentially change an outcome of a 1v1, but I don't know if it's going to be good enough. Dematerializer gone. And Jack of all trades, row 3. For each different stat gained from items, gain 1 Jack stack. Jack stack. Rolls right off your tongue. Each stack grants you 1 ability haste. Gain a bonus adaptive force at 5 and 10 stacks. That's some other unknown data values for 10 and 25. That might be the adaptive force values. So you probably would get like 35 adaptive if you get to 10 stacks. Which is quite a bit. For each different stat gained from items, gain 1 Jack stack. So I'm assuming that we're talking like the base stats, like armor, magic resistance, health, AD, attack speed, cooldown reduction perhaps. I mean ability haste, right? I don't know about that. If we're gonna go back to spellbook, then this is probably something I would use, but I'm not even sure. It gives you probably not, in fact. It gives you nothing until like 15-20 minutes into the game. That is nah. And the systems, whatever. More. Oh, buff for AD carries. Oh no. That's the buff for AD carries number freaking 17 that I count through these patch notes. Would you look at that? More experience for bot lane. Oh no. I think this is what they mean by that, right? I'm not sure, but probably. Most likely. Anyway, we just buffed AD carries, and then we buffed AD carries, then we buffed AD carries some more, and we added some buffs to AD carries, and then AD carries got stronger, and then we decided to make AD carries a little bit stronger again. The final conclusion of these patch notes is that AD carries will be probably weak next split.